What it do, guys? It's the boy, the juice. Big welcomes to those of y'all tuning in tonight. Big welcomes. Guys, I really didn't want to talk about what I gotta talk about tonight. You know, everybody keeps asking, everybody keeps bringing it up. Here I am, sitting at my computer, doing what I normally do when I first get up in the morning, looking for Nancy Guthrie updates, and I'm stumbling across the same old thing over and over again. And that was the whole JLR thing that's been going on, and I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna talk about this tonight. We're just gonna talk about it. Good guy. I've met the guy, a couple times here in Tucson when he was here. I'm not really here to bash him out or say anything really bad about him. I am going to play several different streams tonight that, we're mentioning several things, just so everybody gets an outlook on what's going on. I'm not going to get on here and say the man's guilty or anything like that. I know I've been through some rough times myself, dealing with women as well. So, it's a really tough situation. I can't say that the girl that is involved in this with JLR is doing this because he's at a certain height right now and she's trying to purposely get in trouble. Only based on the information that I've been seeing, because it seems like this was already filed before all of this crazy stuff in Tucson took place. But don't quote me on it because I don't know. I haven't really paid too much attention to the story. I had some interesting, one particular thing, the reason why I'm on tonight that I really wanted to talk about, but I had to get on and talk about this, which is kind of unfortunate because, he's been one of the big faces that have been leading this entire thing through the media. And that's what's kind of frustrating to me. And he's an inspiring guy, man. He's very inspiring guy. A lot of people are saying that they find some things odd about him. I didn't really see anything odd. Looking at the way people are talking about him now, it makes it seem like there's something odd or off, But I'm not going to get on here and say all that, because I don't know about any of that. Don't know him well enough to say that. I don't know. I can't believe everything that everybody says as well. But we got to talk about it, guys. We got to talk about it. I got to talk about it. I mean, I don't have to talk about it. I don't have to. But again, he's been the biggest face in the media, damn near period. Not even just with the Nancy Guthrie thing. I mean, from what I've heard, he's been all over. And like I said, he's been leading the way as far as boots on the ground. He's been leading the way, and if anybody has tuned in to the Nancy Guthrie case or investigation, this is probably one of the first or one of the persons you'll most likely discover that's, more involved in this case than anyone else, as far as the media, world goes, as far as, getting the most viewership, the most views on this particular whole thing in the first place. If there's a live stream and everyone's live streaming Nancy Guthrie, 30,000 people are going to be over there watching JLR. They're not going to be watching us. They want to see what JLR is up to. They don't really want to see what we're up to. I'm a small YouTuber. I know they don't want to see what I'm up to if I'm out there. So I mean, it's kind of frustrating. Prayers go to him, because I hope that he's able to get through this. I don't want, obviously him to not be able to continue his success here, but I'm not going to say what he's doing is right as well. I do know that for me, I can't speak for him because I still continue to watch him live every day. that, you know, for me personally, and I'm just going to speak for myself, there hasn't been any comments at all. There hasn't been anything about what's going on, and we don't deserve to hear that from him. We don't have to, you know. But as someone that who is, you know, one of his, you know, I can't even say that. Let's just not even say that. I don't even want to go that way with it. But I do think, you know, he should say something. Not put it like that. Let me go back. 'Cause I would say something to my viewers, but a lot of them don't really care. They just want to hear the JLR investigates. They don't want to hear about the real JLR, and I personally don't either. But it's kind of bothering to me that I'm getting on here and I'm trying to look for stuff that has to do with Nancy Guthrie. I'm going down the line, and all I'm seeing is this constant stuff, you know, pertaining to this whole JLR thing as far as, you know, this domestic violence or whatever it is that's going on. So, like I said, prayers go to him. Wish him the best. Hope he's able to move on. Hope he's got a really good lawyer. I'm hoping for the best, man, you know, and I'm not going to lie. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. He's probably the one person that I looked up to the most, you know, and I still do, you know, since the beginning of time for me. Because as you all know, I'm very new to crime. You know, I don't really know much. I don't really know a lot of people's names that, you know, I'm learning a lot of names now. But getting into it from the beginning, I didn't know a lot of people's names who cover crime, and like Brian Inton and, you know, just the bigger YouTubers, you know. I had no idea who a lot of these guys are, you know, but JLR was one of them that was super, super inspiring, you know, just anybody I think that you see covering crime, and they're averaging 10, mainly 30,000 viewers at once, especially when a lot of things are going on at the moment in time for whatever he's investigating, which was, you know, this particular case, which is Nancy Guthrie. So we'll spin around to Nancy, but now, you know, I guess JLR stole the show once again, but this time it wasn't the positive side of him that we were looking for. Like I said, we got to talk about it, so we're going to talk about it. I mean, he stole the show. He wants to. I mean, he's got some stuff going on. Unfortunately, I don't know how this reached the media's attention. I guess it was the Magnolia girl here on the left here, which was that was who he was with for 3 years, is for what I heard. Not that it matters, but I guess from what I'm hearing, she finally reached out. She's finally speaking out. She's upset. I don't know. I don't get it. If she's already got a court thing pending and going on, I don't know why she made the effort to speak out now. I don't know why now was the time to do it, or the most appropriate time to do it, I guess. Anyways, I found a fella here named Plug's Fault. He's got a couple videos. I'm going to briefly go through this one. This one's short anyways. The next one, they were kind of saying some interesting things as well, showing some interesting pictures. We'll just kind of scavenge through it. I hate to do this, man. I hate to even talk about it, because I think he's a really good guy, really smart guy as well. But we got to talk about it, man. And I want to just get this out the way tonight. Let's just get this out the way, because I'm probably not going to talk about this again until, you know, unless things change. But we'll talk about this, move forward, talk about some Nancy. Call it a night, man. We'll call it a night after that.
It's like part of the criteria now. YouTube channel abused their old lady.
Okay, so if y'all didn't know, this dude, Jonathan Lee Riches, JLR Investigates, allegedly put hands on his old lady.
This doesn't even feel right having to even cover this tonight, bro. But come on, man. This is about Nancy right now, man.
And And the details are disgusting, disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised. Now, make sure you guys go sub to Magnolia's channel. She deserves it, JLR doesn't, and we're going to get to why in a second. Okay, everybody, so on Christmas Day, the cops got a call saying there was a report of an assault. The victim reporting party identified herself as blank, told dispatch and received an injury to her nose from a fight last night with her boyfriend, Jonathan Riches. Rivercom was also informed Jonathan had taken blank phone and left last night. So this is so similar to Wes Watson. It's unbelievable, guys. And remember, JLR did time in the feds, if I'm not mistaken, right? So this dude's technically a prison YouTuber. He's fooled everybody. He acts like this civilian fucking sweet guy, right?
Let me fix my chat real quick.
Dude, you are fake as hell. He's a grifter. He was a troll. Go find his other channels. This guy has been trolling for years, and I'm going to prove this in a little bit.
Popping up.
He supported Trump and Hillary at the same time. Shit's weird. But let's get into him putting hands on his old lady. I arrived at the location at the same time as aid. We contacted Blank in the main entrance door. I could visibly see bruising around her right eye, consistent with being in the early stages of a black eye. I could also see a small red mark on her upper corner of the bridge of her nose. Her nose was visibly not straight and resembled what I have observed through training and experience to be broken. So you're telling me, I got to get on camera for this. So you're telling me that you literally punched your girl in the face and broke her nose. As you can tell, I've had my nose broken many times.
I get it, this guy's is bad. Don't criticize me, but I get it, it's bad. But come on, dude, this is not that serious. He didn't murder the girl. The girl isn't dead. It sounds like she's over-exaggerating to me, I'm going to be honest, by making statements and saying, I'm lucky I'm still alive. Like I said, I don't know the guy. You can't put nothing past nobody, and I just don't. I'm not buying it that she almost got killed. I guess she was strangled. I'm not taking this that serious. I'm really not. But it seems like people have nothing else to do, so they're making a really big deal out of it. And again, it's serious. It's serious. Don't get it twisted. It's serious. It could be a felony. A DV is not a good charge at all. But come on, peeps. Come on.
The only bone I've ever had broke. This dude had to do that to a small female. Bro. Stuff needs to happen. Karma needs to happen to you in Minecraft land. That same incident in Minecraft land needs to happen to you. I better not get a strike for that. Let's get back to the video.
I'm lost for words right now, y'all. I just can't believe that he did this to this lady. Hold on. Let's get back to it. Last night, she had confronted Jonathan about things she observed on his work phone, stated it was such thing as communication with other women, and she described it to be porn. Wow. Oh, man. He got caught up, and then this is what happened. Even if you get caught up, fellas, it gives you no right to put hands on your woman. You better let them throw a dresser at you. Let's get back to it. Blank said that she stated to address this with Jonathan. He became enraged and struck her with a closed fist multiple times on the side of the head, her nose, and her ribs. What? So it was more than the nose. He punched every part of her body, basically. Stated that she grabbed her phone and began to dial 911 for help. But Jonathan saw her doing this, took her phone from her, and said, I will fucking kill you. All right, people.
And you know what like kind of encouraged me to just kind of just go through these just real quick, because, and I'm not even going to listen to that whole thing, was the fact that there were just some other streamers that were talking about this, and I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't know why it's that deep for these guys to make the effort to even really talk about this, because I feel like it shouldn't even be something that's talked about until everything like unfolds. I'm not really buying the whole story. I think it's more blown up than what it is, but I mean, I don't know, man. And there's always two sides to a story. There's always two sides to a story, guys. What if at the end of the day, and I get it, she has pictures, whatever, but what if at the end of the day, it turns out that this girl damn near killed JLR and he had to defend himself? What are the odds of that, though? why is it when we hear a girl gets her hands put on by a man, we automatically assume that the male is wrong? Why do we assume that? You know that women are provoking. You do understand that, right? There's always two sides to a story. Why are we overlooking this and just bashing the guy and trying to tear the guy down? He clearly turned his life around. He's clearly not perfect. He's clearly done things, he shouldn't have done. We all have secrets. We've all been through rough times. Come on, peeps. I really don't. I'm not really feeling the way people are just trying to just tear the man down. Like, give him some credit. Give him some credit. He's been holding on to this investigation for a while. I get it. I'm just as disappointed as you are. However, I'm still hopeful that he'll this is not. I don't think this is something that's going to take him off the street. We're really. I think a lot of people are over exaggerating this whole thing. Seriously. And I didn't even want to get on and talk about this, but I mean, if somebody's going to share the light and express both sides of the story, because that's really how it should be. We should be taking both, trying to hear out both sides of the story. We shouldn't be trying to take one side of the story and just run with it. That's wrong. There's always two sides to a story. Now that's really what I wanted to say, man. Like I said, I met the guy. I was a cool guy. I still think he's a cool guy. He's one of the persons that I looked up to the most, still look up to the most in this whole thing, as far as, whatever you want to phrase it, the press, the media, YouTuber. He's doing it all, bro. He's doing it all. And I can't say it enough. My man turned his life around, bro. I'm from the hood, man. I grew up with guys that are far more worse than JLR. And I had to continue to be friends with these people. And then, once they reach a certain limit and they're doing certain things that they don't stop doing what they're doing, that's when I got to separate myself. But I never judged anybody based on their past and the things that they've done or the problems that they have. Everybody has flaws. Everybody has problems. We all need help in some type of way. Even if we're highly successful and we're doing good for ourselves, does not mean there's not things going on in our lives that, could get us in trouble, make you look at us differently. I think people lose focus on. I think we should just focus on who he is on stream, not off. Because one thing I learned when I started streaming, I've been streaming for like 4 or 5 years. I just quit for a long time. Juice, and my name's Troy, by the way. Troy is not the same as Juice. Troy and Juice are two different people. And that's one thing I had to learn when I started streaming. And a lot of people didn't want to get to know Troy. They really just loved Juice. Just saying. Anyways, guys, I talked about I'm not even going to go through these videos because there's a bunch of videos. And, the only person that seemed to be positive about it for the most part was this gentleman here.
Allowed to talk about this?
So this is the only videos I'm going to play, and then I'm done with it. I'm moving on with this. I'm probably not going to go back unless something crazy happens.
He has not.
Let's listen in for a second. I got to fix my chat real quick.
Arrested and has not been charged. That is a big deal too. And I figured we can go through the documents to talk about the allegations, what's true, what's not true. Well, we don't know what's true and what's not true. And that's the other thing. People online, I think people online their opinions are based on subjectivity, their own like personal experiences. So, some people are saying this is Amber Heard. Some people are saying this is Amber Heard. This is Johnny Depp 2.0. Other people are saying the other way around. And a lot of these people are basing it on their personal experiences. And honestly, we just don't know. We just don't know. The allegations are horrible. Horrible. And he has to have his day in court. I think the next court date that's coming up is, let me double check here. I think it's April 21st. And he has made no comment on this. He hasn't made any comment. Now, Magnolia has made a comment today. She actually posted today, so we'll get into that in a bit. And I was going to start with the New York Post, but I figured let's just start with some court documentations, I think. Because there's a lot of stands. There's people that are just like, it's like, bro, these people will jump off a cliff with you.
My chat is
I hope it's not true. I hope it's not true, but it looks bad. And I wish he would say something, maybe to his audience. Maybe his lawyer told him not to say anything. I wish he would say something and just be like, hey, there's a serious situation going on. I have a lawyer. I'm dealing with it. Or, this is not true, or this is not the whole story, but I can't. Something. Any kind of statement, because right now, I guess his chat is blowing him up. His chat is blowing him up. I think it's funny too. People thought that I was going to be afraid to talk about this. If somebody I know does something horrible, and I don't know if that's the case here, because we've been covering true crime. We've been covering court cases, innocent until proven guilty. But it's funny that these people, and that's how some of these people would sell out their own morals and their own morality because, it's somebody you know. If it comes out to be true, we'll visit it again, and I'm going to be, that's horrible. I won't associate myself with that. That's, having, ethics and morals and stuff like that. Some of you people will sell your soul. Like, it's crazy, and, there's a lot to this too. This whole thing, it's not just like, it's not just like the Magnolia and JLR. There's like a whole bunch of stuff because there was, Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito. Remember that? The most biggest infamous domestic violence case that we all covered. JLR was out there. A bunch of other YouTubers were out there. And at CrimeCon, not only did I meet JLR and Magnolia, Gabby Petito, it was a very pleasant interaction with them. I also met Gabby Petito's parents, and it was really nice meeting them. And I think I met the cousin too. And so I think it's interesting and a little telling. I think it's telling that people online that are saying you're not allowed to talk about it. It's like, what's wrong with you? You can't even mention it. God forbid you utter the words. Now I understand if you're just saying the guy's guilty and he hasn't been convicted. Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. But it looks bad. And so, yeah, I've met them before. Very nice. The impression that I got from them was very nice. Magnolia did a lot of talking. She seemed very personable. I thought she was good for him. This was just face value. You never really know obviously what's going on with people, but face value. I thought she was good for him. I thought she was taking his channel in the right direction. And I told him, man, you're doing great. Just focus on what you're doing. Just fucking just forget all this drama, all these other YouTubers and beefing. Just focus, And there was a couple of, I've spoken to her in the DMs before about stories and cases, and they've always been kind to me and let me use their streams. Especially the Nancy Guthrie thing. That's what makes it kind of weird. But at the same time, it's this thing is kind of blowing up, the elephant in the room, and it's I don't think I cannot not talk about it just because I've met this person. I'm not going to talk about it. No, I think we should. And then we'll see. A jury and a judge is going to have to decide. That's just what it is. A judge and a jury, they're going to have to decide. So let me, I think first, let me kind of take it through like a brief timeline that I could get through this situation. And then we'll kind of go into the court documents. And so they had a 3-year relationship, intimate relationship. Her name is Jamie. I never even knew her name was Jamie, honestly, until this whole thing happened. I was like, what? And by the way, when I was sent this story before it even came out publicly, I don't have like a personal vendetta against JLR. I was sent this the night before it officially came out the next day on Twitter by Nerdy. I sat on it. I kind of read it and I was like shocked. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the hell? I could have jumped on it. I didn't jump on it. I was like trying to like wait a little bit, and then it came out the next day. There was apparently one person that was going around like supposedly sending this out. And so I waited. I don't know how many days it's been, but every live stream I do, people are asking about it. So the brief timeline, let's see. Early January, they start dating, I guess, 2023, 3-year relationship. August 2025, Charlotte, North Carolina. While on a work trip in a hotel in Charlotte, North Carolina, Phillips alleges Riches violently assaulted her after she confronted him about infidelity and explicit messages on his phone. She says he beat her and then fled alone in their rental car back to Florida. So that's the allegations from 2025. Then December 25th, 2025, Christmas, which is so just kind of crazy to me because I remember her posting the pictures of them or something. And I remember when she disappeared, everybody was wondering. She disappeared. Nobody really knew what was going on.
Trying to fix my chat, guys.
I guess,
give me a sec here.
It's just kind of silent.
It's just not working.
So December 25th at an All Season River Inn, she says that she confronted JLR again about messages on his work phone. She alleges he punched her multiple times in the head, nose, and ribs, tried to stop her from calling 911. Should make sure that there's no audio playing. Okay. So she alleges that he punched her multiple times in the head, nose, ribs, tried to stop her from calling 911, and told her, "I will effing kill you." Grabbed both the phones and their bags and fled the scenes. She believes that she lost consciousness briefly. And then I think it was the morning of, when we look at the documents, we'll get a better idea, but I think it was the morning of Christmas. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office responds to Deputy Kyle Talley, documents visible injuries, broken nose, septum, bruising starting, black eye, rib trauma. So photos were taken. Victim was transported to the Cascade Medical Center in Leavenworth for evaluation, CT scans, x-rays. The official report states, and there's a number there, states that the deputies found probable cause for the arrest of Riches for assault in the second degree, DV, harassment, threats to kill, DV, interfering with reporting of domestic violence. And he was listed as a flight risk. He was later tracked driving through North Dakota. I think Magnolia was tracking him. So he was driving through North Dakota. So she had flights. They were supposed to fly back, apparently. But, all this stuff happened. And so she canceled the flights. Phillips canceled her original flight and flies home safely. She continues tracking Rich's location. January 20th, 2026, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Phillips files a petition order of protection in Garland County Circuit
really
Court.
Bothering me right now.
She attaches the full Chelan County police report as an exhibit. In her sworn affidavit, she describes the Christmas assault plus a years-long pattern of alleged abuse. And this is kind of crazy. Supposedly she had said 24 times that he had strangled her. We'll see that in the report. Again, a police report, just so you know, it doesn't necessarily mean like facts. It's allegations. It's what she's telling them, it's what she's showing us, what police officers are seeing, threats to kill if she called police, and financial control. We're going to talk more about that. And then January 21st, 2026, Judge Cara Petro grants an ex parte temporary order of protection after finding immediate and present danger of domestic abuse and that Riches presents a credible threat. The order excludes him from her residence and prohibits contact except through attorneys. January 23rd, 2026, Port Richey, Florida. Riches is personally served in the order at his home. So he was served at his house, January 23rd. So again, keeping in mind with the timeline, because some people were saying that like, oh, she saw the money he was making with Nancy Guthrie, and she was like, let me get that money. Nancy went missing in February. So this whole situation happened before Nancy went missing, you know. In the very least, I'm thinking like at least I can kind of offer people clarity at least as to what the allegations are. I'm going to show you documents.
Anyways, that's just a kind of a recap of what's really going on with the whole JLR thing. I'm moving on from here, though. I just wanted to just let everybody know what I had mentioned just a second ago. There's always two sides to a story. Don't just point the finger right away just because you hear, because a lot of times when we hear a woman's gotten hit by a man, because a man should never hit a woman. But I think it's vice versa as well. A woman should never hit a man as well. With that being said, I don't feel like we should just point the finger right away at JLR. We don't really know the story. We don't know what's going on. Someone mentioned in the chat, it's none of our business. It really isn't. But the entire world is making it our business, and unfortunately, it's he's a big factor in the Nancy Guthrie case as far as keeping this thing alive, and it's something that repetitively pops up when we're looking for simple information that we've been waking up and looking for every single day for the past 52 days now. So today's 52 that Nancy's gone missing. Let's talk some Nancy, man. Let's just move on from here, because I really don't want to even hear what these people really have to say anymore. Like I said, and I'll say it again, the guy's a good guy. I met the guy before. He's turned his life around. There's still going to be errors in life going forward. You're not going to be perfect. We're human. You're not going to not make mistakes along the way. You're not going to not have flaws. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. To me, it is, at least. Like I said, well, from where I grew up, it's no excuse, but I'm used to this kind of stuff. I'm used to stuff like this. I'm not making it sound like it's right, but I'm used to it. I'm used to it, and I can't throw somebody under the bus because of their imperfections. We all need help. We all need help in some way. Guys, I was talking about the house a lot yesterday. Remember, I was talking about how I was saying that I had a good idea of where Nancy's room would be in the house. And I was pointing out particular parts of the house from the top of the house. Because there's this picture where it shows the top of her house. And I was just, assuming where I think her, room would be, where the living room would be. Well, Miss Ashley Banfield, I believe, today found some pictures of Nancy's home, and they might have been from years ago, but it doesn't change the fact of where rooms are. So I wanted to play that and kind of speculate on that a little bit, talk about that. I think right now, currently with the case, investigators are focused on those 2 days right now. I want to say, what was it, January 11th and the 31st? Those 2 days. Oh, by the way, I went down. I tried to live today. My stream wasn't very great. I was in the neighborhood today because I was looking for the abandoned homes that everyone's been talking about. So I wanted to see if I could find them, see if I could see them. One of the ones that I, was looking for, I found that one. I was able to find that one. However, I didn't have time. I had to leave, so I wasn't able to find the other one. So hopefully tomorrow, or today now, because we're in tomorrow today, I'll be able to, find the time to go down there and, see if we could find those other abandoned homes. From what I was seeing on my way out, there were a lot of homes. There were a lot of homes. It was crazy that were abandoned. But anyway, let me play the video real quick of the abandoned home. I don't know if this is better footage than the one we already saw, but this is one of the ones. This is it right here. This is one of them. Now, we still got another one to find. I can't wait to show you guys this later on stream. But yeah, this is one of the abandoned homes right here that they are talking about. That's the one. And I wanted y'all to see that. There's a sign there. I kind of want to go look at it. What does that say? Can't read that. What does that sign say? Hey, it's not trespassing. Can we can walk on there, can't we? Yeah, we won't chance it. That's one of the abandoned homes there. No, I'll play this is one of the homes that they're talking about that was abandoned. There was some workers out in front. This is it right here. This is one of them. Now, we still got another one to find. I can't wait to show you guys this later on
that's
stream.
the house. I don't know.
I have no idea. Yeah, this is one of the... If there's going to be, you know... if it's going to turn out that Nancy's in one of these abandoned homes. It's possible, though. That's a good theory. You know, that's a good thinking. You know, that would actually be a good place to put a body. I'm not going to lie for a while, you know. But I think it would be a strong odor at a certain point. I don't know how long it takes a body to... like decompose and like start smelling, you know. I guess we could do research and figure that out, but thought that was interesting to kind of see it up close. There's a sign on the window. I don't know if y'all noticed that sign there. I don't know what the sign says. I think when I go back, I'm going to walk on the property just to see what that sign says. It would be nice to see what was in that dumpster too, because there was a dumpster right there, and I'm sure that dumpster was already dumped. But I know you can see the dumpster up top there. And, you know, it would be just nice to see what was in that dumpster. Not saying that there was anything that might be related to the investigation with Nancy. But, I mean, you never know. You never know. Because a lot of people were bringing that dumpster to everyone's attention, saying that there could have been something in there. So it's possible. It's possible. But I thought that was an interesting to see for myself in person. I also was talking about the lights. I want to go back and I want to talk about the lights that appear in the back when you see the perp in that surveillance video. Because I'm still thinking those are car lights, man. A lot of people keep saying it's the sign, but to me it seems like it's still sitting with me car lights, because the way the door is angled. You know, the house that you see in the back isn't the house that... It's very hard to describe. I would have to just go down there and show you. I could show you better than I could tell you. That's for sure. But anyway, just wanted to talk about that. I really didn't have much time, and that's what killed me. I really wish I had more time to stick around at Nancy's, but I didn't. I was trying to find a picture of the perp with that car. I think it's a car. I don't know if it's a car exactly, so don't quote me on it. But there's a photo, and I thought I had it in here. I do. It's somewhere, but I don't remember what photo it was to show it. Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to be able to show that picture right now. I'll find it later. Anyway, so I wanted to play this real quick because Ashley's talking about the inside of the home. She's actually showing pictures of the inside of the home. Nancy's home.
Left open, the dynamic can actually change, and the offender profile can actually change. I'm digging into that in this episode, but I'm also doing something in this episode that I think will help you to understand Mrs. Guthrie's home.
Machiavelli, big welcomes, by the way. Says she must have been tweaking. He had to fight her off. She has a history as well. Yeah, man. Yeah, looking at the girl, guys, and not to go back to JLR, but looking at that girl, I could tell she has issues too. Like I said, we all got flaws. But just looking at that girl, come on, man. I know she's not perfect either, by a long shot. So it's just like, we can't point the finger 100% at JLR. Come on now, seriously. But I'm sorry. I could be judgmental in certain areas, and like I said, looking at that girl, with certain pictures, that picture we were looking at, not so bad, but with certain pictures, I could tell like there's some off things. But we all got some off things about us. If you pay enough attention, we all got off things about us. Come on now, look at my teeth, man. I look like a crackhead. Come on, I mean, just saying. I'm just saying.
Because looking at from the outside, it's kind of tricky. And I have thought all along that this very pretty little blue door at the back of her home was likely the back door that was left open. That has all been turned up on its end. Based on my sources and them telling me about this issue about the Guthrie's kids, the Guthrie kids telling the police that their mom frequently, regularly left the back doors, plural, open. I have Gray Hughes from Gray Hughes Investigates, who's really good at doing 3D imaging, working his way around crime scenes and figuring out outsides and insides. And he was masterful during the Idaho murders case at 1122 King Road. And he is going to be so incredibly helpful in just a moment when he joins us to show you all of the different potential entry points to Nancy Guthrie's home. There are five different entry points. And in the back, lest you think that there were multiple doors, there were two. And none of them were sliders. So I'm going to walk you all throughout the house and tell you what doors.
I didn't get a chance to read your comments, by the way. I'm sorry, guys. Mike says there's no way he will address this on a podcast. He can't even look at people in the eyes when having a mature conversation with them, as we have seen on the street in front of Nancy's. I don't know if I really got that vibe. Maybe I could agree with that. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, though, exactly, but I guess I could agree with that. A lot of people won't be sharing his streams anymore. I wouldn't say that. I think he'll be good. I don't know why he didn't go live today. Maybe because there's not much going on with the case, but it's a high possibility. Chase says he's unsubscribing, man. By all means, man, if you feel like you don't want to be here in this, you don't have to, man. I was forcing you to be here. I appreciate you as a member of the channel. Shout out Chase for being a member on the channel, 100%. But like I said, man, I'm not pushing nobody to want to be here. If they feel like I'm wrong for something, by all means, hold me accountable, man. I'll try to do better, man. And I'm definitely hearing everybody out. That's for sure.
Likely led into which rooms, and show you why I think I know which door was the door that this perpetrator more than likely used to.
But I agree, Chase. It's none of our business.
A couple of other pieces.
YG, big welcome back, by the way. He says the video titled Live from Nancy Guthrie's House, Day 7, Update on 857 Tucson's, shows a sus person wanting to be famous. Huh. We'll check it out.
And that's coming in just a second. Gray's going to join me. And like I said, he's really good at he's way better at thingamajigging than I am. Like I'm really, really bad at popping up shared screens and moving things around. I basically, I'm good with a microphone. That's about it, and hair. So I wanted to give you a couple of updates that happened. If you weren't watching this weekend, or if you were way too busy on the member Q&A, there was wine. There was actually a martini as well beforehand, but it was a lot of fun that we had. But if you weren't paying a lot of attention to the news, I can get you caught up on a few things. Savannah Guthrie and the Guthrie family released a statement.
Innocent
early,
until. Big welcome,
NBC,
by the way.
And to KVOA. That's Savannah's former TV station in Tucson, where she started. And then a day later, they released it to the public.
Kelly, welcome. Kelly, first one in the chat.
There's something
Kelly.
really significant in this statement. Two things, in fact, that just popped sort of right off the screen at me. I'm going to read it and you see if you can tell right away what those two things are. And don't worry, because I'll tell you what they are later. It says, quote, "We are..."
Hey, Machiavelli, I appreciate that, by the way. This is the last time I'm stopping the video. I don't want to keep stopping the video, man. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot, yo. Big salutes to those of y'all, man, that are tuning in tonight and just staying positive, man. I appreciate that. Hey, listen, dude. I'm trying. Hey, I just want the only thing that I could say from a little small YouTuber, and hopefully Chase is here so he can hear this from a small YouTuber. For someone who looks up to JLR, because he's on a whole nother level. All right. I just want him to know I'm disappointed. He is a big role model to a lot of us, to me. And I just want him to know we got to do better. Now, on another note, there's some conversations that I could have with him that no one needs to know about. That, you know, because like I said, I come from a crazy neighborhood. I've been through a lot myself. And I could relate to that guy in a lot of ways. Let's just say that, bro. Not saying I abuse women, but I'm just saying there's a lot of things that I'm sure I could relate to him in a lot of ways about. And if I could be of any help, I would do it for him, for sure. I'm not looking anywhere else because someone is doing something that they shouldn't be doing. I'm not gonna, you know, not give them a chance. Sorry, I got heart. I'm different.
Deeply grateful for the outpouring from neighbors, friends, and the people of Tucson. We are all family now. We continue to believe it is Tucsonans and the greater Arizona community that hold the key to finding resolution in this case. Someone knows something. It's possible a member of this community has information that they do not even realize is significant. We hope people search their memories, especially around the key timelines of January 31st and the early morning hours of February 1st, as well as the late evening of January 11th. We desperately ask this community for renewed attention to our mom's case. Please consult camera footage, journal notes, text messages, observations, or conversations that in retrospect hold significance. No detail is too small. It may be the key. We miss our mom with every breath, and we cannot be in peace until she is home. We cannot grieve. We can only ache and wonder. Our focus is solely on finding her and bringing her home. We want to celebrate her beautiful and courageous life, but we cannot do that until she is brought to a final place of rest. Thank you for continuing to pray without ceasing. The Guthrie family. And it's signed Cameron and Christine. That's Cameron, Nancy Guthrie's son, and presumably his wife. Annie and Tommaso. That's Annie is Nancy's daughter and her husband, Tommaso, and Savannah and Michael. Savannah, obviously Nancy's very famous Today Show host daughter.
Wait, who's Kristen?
Husband, Michael. So
go back.
I don't know if it stood out.
I don't know who's
Tommaso.
Crystal.
That's Cameron, Nancy Guthrie's son, and presumably his wife. Annie
his wife.
Tommaso,
Okay.
That's Annie is Nancy's daughter and her husband, Tommaso, and Savannah and Michael. Savannah, obviously Nancy's very famous Today Show host daughter, and her husband, Michael. So I don't know if it stood out to you, the two things in that statement that popped off the screen to me.
YG says that video of the person wanting to be famous on 8570s just might be it. Wow. David says JLR has some serious FU money, net worth, reported at nearly 10 million, and he could just walk away from the public eye if he wished. Man, that's possible. That's possible. I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, he's all over the world, you know. I mean, he's definitely made a lot of friends, I would say. I mean, he could be, it seems to me like he could go anywhere he wants to go, you know. But I mean, for what? There's no need to run. Why is you talking about this video of the person that wants to be famous or something like that on 857 stream? We'll check it out right now in a minute.
Were that Savannah for the first time mentioned January 11th. So January 11th is really important because we had only heard from sources. A lot of members of the press had different police and law enforcement and FBI sources that had said, hey, the second image of the intruder not wearing a backpack and not wearing a holster and a gun is from a different date. And lots of neighbors said that they'd been asked about January 11th. And apparently law enforcement was out asking a lot of the neighbors about January 11th and then came back and said, let's widen the aperture all the way from January 1st to
why'd you let me know in the
31st.
chat what the video is?
So we were all very curious about January 11th, right? And lots of stuff happened about January 11th. Like Michael Ruiz from Fox Digital has 2 different law enforcement sources that said the picture with no backpack and no gun and holster was from January 11th.
Yeah, because I don't see the video, so let me know what the name of the video is when you get a chance.
Law enforcement's out asking the neighbors about January 11th. Do you have video from January 11th? Do you know anything that happened on January 11th? And there's Savannah Guthrie now putting out this statement saying, maybe you know something about January 31st, that late night, and the early morning hours of February 1st, which is exactly when her mom went missing. But then she adds the late evening of January 11th. Something about that also stood out because she said the late evening of January 11th. That's a Sunday night. So the late evening would be late Sunday night. Whereas we were all thinking like the late Saturday night into Sunday morning. Was he assessing these dates? Because neighbors also said that police came around asking about January 24th. That's a Saturday.
I don't see that. You sure that's 857?
Before Nancy Guthrie disappeared. So was this guy casing Nancy's
Is it a video or a live?
2 weeks before, 1 week before, and then striking on February 1st? And was he doing it late Saturday night into Sunday morning, both of those weekends? Well,
I wonder who put those signs up yesterday, guys. That's what happened yesterday. I don't know if you guys were tuned in yesterday, but there were some signs put up at on the signs where it's telling you that you could be fined for parking. You know, the signs they put around Nancy's neighborhood when they put in that law in place. Well, somebody came around with these yellow signs, and I think Dad's Gone Live he posted it, I think, yesterday. He was the one who discovered it first. And there were also, so on the sign, there was a license plate number, and then there was names. I think Dad's Gone Live thought it was names of people that were dead, maybe in the neighborhood. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on it, because I don't know. I'm not 100% on that, but yeah, whoever did that is crazy for that, and I hope they get locked up, because come on, man, we got too much they got too much ahead of them right now. They don't need this right now. This will just be another setback if that wasn't. I hope somebody's telling the truth, whatever they put on that. I hope that's a lead to something. And I was trying to find Dad's Gone Live's video, but maybe he made it a short. He might have made it a short. Yeah, I think he made it short. Let's see if I can find the video. Yeah, so I'll just slide it over real quick. So this is a video right here yesterday. For those of y'all that weren't tuned in yesterday, so y'all can see what happened yesterday.
Go in the general area. Once again, this is Pima County Sheriff. Signs that just popped up in Nancy. Pima County detectives just took down one of the signs that just popped up in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood. They took them in for evidence. There's multiple names on these signs along with a license plate number, and one of the names on the signs is actually from a lady that was murdered not too long ago in the general area.
I mean,
once again, this is Pima County Sheriff detectives.
I think I screenshotted it, actually. I think I did. Yeah, I screenshotted it, I think. Let me check.
It's late in the evening, Sunday night. January 11th is a Sunday, so late in the evening, Sunday night. So I'm still a little confused about that. I think I may have the answer for you, though, where all this confusion came.
No, I didn't screenshot
because
it.
Remember that that the Sheriff Cristianos, told us all that we'd be speculating only if we thought anything about
YG, I don't see that video.
of the perpetrator without the backpack and without the holster and the
Said
gun.
it's alive.
We'd only be speculating if we thought that was a different date. Meanwhile, FBI sources are telling every one of their, media sources or media representatives that it's a different date. Came from a different date.
I'm guessing it was
so
today.
We've all just said, okay, well, that's in the way.
I'm guessing it was a lot. So it was an 11-hour video then, 6 hours ago, because he has two videos. One 7 hours, and then the other one is 6 hours, or one's 6 hours ago, the other one's 7 hours ago. One's 11 hours that he streamed, and the other one's 7. Dang, he's been live for 20 hours almost. He went live today for almost 20 hours. No way.
We don't know what to do with that. But now we're hearing a statement from the sheriff, and it may have the actual answer. We're going to get to that in a second.
Day 7
but I also just want to say,
bro.
like,
it must be titled a little bit differently than how you're putting it.
FBI Director Kash Patel, he released that doorbell video footage, right? And the still image of that masked suspect on Feb 10. February 10th is a long time ago, right? I kind of wonder why more images haven't been released. Or did they give us everything?
Yeah, why haven't they released more
Did they give
images?
us everything they had?
I don't think so.
Does Kash Patel and the FBI have more? Was Google able to scratch more?
I think they were.
And they're not giving it to us. We do
talked
know
about
that
this
they've
yesterday.
said they have additional camera images from other cameras that just aren't of investigative significance that they said. But, they said in the backyard they can see some workers on different dates before the incident, and they can see police officers in the backyard after the incident, but nothing on the actual day. Okay.
Tommaso, Derek, the band, and Luke are connected.
Beforehand, I would
Who
like
said that yesterday? Somebody said that yesterday. I can't argue with that. That's highly possible. Highly possible Tommaso, Derek, and the band Luke are connected because they all know each other. They all know each other, obviously. I mean, those guys are in a band. But Luke, I believe, and that girl, I can't remember her name. Was it Kayla? And then Kalila. He has a band as well, and I think they're all connected, somehow, some way. It's a small world. Tucson's not that hard to be, especially to people who are similar to you. You're definitely going to find a way to be connected to them. If not, at some point in time, you guys are going to run into each other. That's how small it is. So, I mean, I'm not putting it past them at all.
Know who's in the backyard. I would like to see. Because if you saw someone in the backyard, you're like, oh my God, that's my ex-boyfriend and he's a rapist and he's a criminal and he's always talked about knocking off people, that might be helpful for a tip. I'm just saying, if we knew more, if we saw more, there might be more pointed tips with actionable intelligence, So I'm just sort of curious why, A, they're not releasing more images if they have them. And I get it. They probably don't want to, show a bunch of like innocent landscapers and pool guys and suddenly the whole world is running to their front doors and like videotaping them and turning them into the police. But there could be something else there for the public to help. And to that end, why wasn't the public brought in on the February, on the January 11th
So
date?
here's what I'll do, YG. I'll put, because I want to see what you're talking about. I like discovering new news that we don't know about. He's asking me to go to a live. He's not really the live you're describing. I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at here, just so you can see here on YouTube here. Let's see, because he said the video titled "Live at Nancy Guthrie's House 7." So it's titled "Live at Nancy Guthrie's House Day 7 Update on 857." None of these videos are titled exactly how you're putting it. If you give me the first 5 words, maybe the first 2 words, I could find that one right away. But none of these words, none of these recent lives start. Let's see. Live at, no, none of them even start with live at. So that's why I'm like, I don't know which one you're talking about. I'm assuming today, but I'm not seeing. You would have to give me the time because, like I said, there's a 7-hour stream and then there's a dang near 12-hour stream. Maybe he's trying to look for it. I think he had told me to type it in earlier, but I'm already on his live actual channel for 857. So yeah. So if you get a chance, you're still tuned in. Let me know which one it is. Give me the time though. Is it number 1, 2, 3? Is it number 4? So on and so forth. Let me know that. Just give me the number from where I numbered it. And then we might get somewhere. We might get somewhere.
Why didn't they ask us? The whole lot of eyes that were on this case all through February. Why didn't they say early on, as early as possible, January 11th? Do you know anything about January 11th? For instance, do you have a boyfriend that was stepping out on you that night? You didn't know where he was all night and you are mad. Or you just don't have your answer. Let us know. Do you have an ex-boyfriend who was acting weird January 11th? Stepping out, acted weird, got into a fight. Did that ex-boyfriend step out again on Feb 1, right? Jan 31, Feb 1, Saturday to Sunday. Out all night, Saturday night into Sunday morning. Because those are the kinds of tips that can sink a suspect, right? A jilted lover can sink a suspect. A mom or a cousin or an estranged brother, estranged sister, estranged father, whatever. If they know something was up, but January 11th was significant to them, why not release that? Why not have the whole world asking themselves about January 11th? Is there something that maybe I can do for the police regarding January 11th? But they didn't. They just left us all to wonder and ask questions.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand why they're going around asking about January 11th if we don't even know what's going on. Like, I really don't get their point. But obviously, they just don't want to tell the public a lot of things or certain things. You can't trust family. Tommaso has too many friends. Only the family knew the back door was always open. Ooh. Machiavelli, I like your point. I like your point there. A month ago, YG? Are they bringing this back up now?
We're frustrating, because maybe a tip might have come in, but now we're like, I don't know, day 51. Can anybody remember what you were doing in January, mid-January? Most of you would be like, I don't know, it was dry January. Feels like eons ago. It's a long time ago. It's a lot longer ago than maybe it needed to be. They work in mysterious ways, maybe they had their reasons, but it just seems frustrating that could have had a lot of people thinking about January 11th if you just leveled up and told us why January 11th mattered. And here's what we can tell you now. Again, with the cherry-picked interview, the sheriff chooses NBC, seems to really favor NBC.
Oh, well, he did say day 7, duh.
Favors locals. This is what the sheriff said regarding January 11th. He said to NBC, Google initially told investigators that a surveillance image of a masked man at Guthrie's front door that was recovered from a Nest camera at her home was believed to be from January 11th. That's when you should have gone out to the public and yelled January 11th.
See, now you got me real curious to see what you're talking about. Hey, let's check this out real quick. Sorry, I'm a little slow.
Vertical stream, real quick. Kind of give you a lowdown of what's going on, everybody. All the media shots are waiting for their 6:30 shots. The big ones, primetime news from New York, they've wrapped it up.
So in this video, there's a sus person that's trying to be famous?
Car battery to run their equipment.
Wants to be famous? I don't know what you're getting at.
But you can see how far this goes down.
If we got the right video.
Thanks for joining. We are live here waiting for the next tip. Should be coming in. 57 Tucson.
Oh my God.
Have you heard of that one?
No, never.
Yeah, let's see.
Can you make me famous? Shout out.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Join the channel
I will. Damn.
on YouTube and
How
Facebook.
has this been going? You guys been here for a fat minute.
7 days now
You guys want to be here for
until Nancy's found.
If not, then
Eventually, I guess everyone's got to go home.
yeah.
You just come drive to check it out.
No, I had a delivery. I delivered to this house.
Oh,
Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say.
I hope you safely find her shower again.
Yeah, hopefully she's found safe. And how about the neighbors? How they feel?
well, the neighbor yesterday came and brought a tip over, so everybody's kind of, trying to, if they have surveillance footage or anything like that. Well, safe travels out there.
Thank you, sir.
Follow the channel, 857. But
I don't know really what was all suspicious about that. I think he was kind of just like
if they have surveillance footage or anything like that.
overthinking it. He might not be good on camera.
Well, safe travels out there.
Thank you, sir.
Follow the channel, 857.
You think he was?
Safe and,
you think he was like a runner, like trying to see what's going on the scene for somebody that he may know that may be a potential suspect? Maybe he could be a runner, just kind of pulling up to check to see what's going on real quick, for the perp. Or maybe he is the perp.
Safely find her shower again.
Yeah, hopefully she's found safe. And how about the neighbors? How they feel?
Well, the neighbor yesterday came and brought a tip over, so everybody's kind of, trying to, if they have surveillance footage or anything like that. Well, safe travels out there.
Thank you, sir.
Follow the channel, 857. But
Play it one more time. We'll play it one more time. Go back a little further.
until Nancy's found.
If not, then
Eventually, I guess everyone's got to go home.
yeah.
You just come drive to check it out.
No, I had a delivery. I delivered to this house.
Oh,
Oh, I forgot what I was
He
going to say.
said he had a delivery. He delivered to this one. What is he talking about?
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. No, I had a... You guys want to be here?
He is acting a little weird though.
until Nancy's found.
If not, then
Eventually, I guess everyone's got to go home.
yeah.
You just come drive to check it out.
No, I had a delivery. I delivered to this house.
Oh,
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
I hope you safely find her shower again.
Yeah, hopefully she's found safe. And how about the neighbors? How they feel?
well, the neighbor yesterday came and brought a tip over, so everybody's kind of, trying to, if they have surveillance footage or anything like that. Well, safe travels out there.
Thank you, sir.
Follow the channel, 857.
Yeah, that's odd though. I don't know. What did he think about that?
That's where the doorbell,
He didn't think nothing of it.
and now not there, but there was right next to where the door is. There used to be.
He didn't even care.
That's where the doorbell was placed, or the camera.
He delivered a package. That's the porch guy? Really?
Thanks for joining.
I hope you safely find her shower again.
Yeah, hopefully she's found safe. And
But didn't he say he delivered a house? Was he pointing at Nancy's house, or was he talking about a house next door? I mean, obviously, he's probably talking about Nancy's. I mean, he's right in front of Nancy's house. Wow, thanks for sharing that video with me. I mean, that was crazy. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, he was a little bit weird. He was kind of weird, to be honest. He really was. That's odd. Really odd, actually. I think in this case, though, it's important to pay attention to the facts and not the certain things that we, because if we constantly stopping in every little thing, we're pretty much trying to, we're trying to like investigate whether or not it could potentially be the perp, or it's like almost every little thing might be the perp. It just might be. We don't want to overlook anything, yet we're overthinking stuff. You know, I don't know. It's just been it's been so rocky. It's took us on so many turns in this investigation. It's hard to, just not overthink stuff, and we don't want to miss anything. So we're just like skeptical, like, of almost everything that comes off weird to us, I wanted to play this part real quick because Ashley Banfield, I think that's her name. She was talking about the bedrooms and just where stuff is in Nancy's home, and I thought that was interesting. I want to see how close I was to being, because yesterday I was talking about where I think all the rooms are at and stuff. So we'll see if I was close or I was completely off.
Out to a little patio, and then there's a slider from the patio that goes in to the living room. And
I think they were talking about a janky blue door.
It's very confusing to hear it all. So let's actually look at it, because I think you've done a good job of mapping it out. So tell me where you want to start. What's easiest? Where do you want to start to show sort of which doors are where?
Nobody talked about it, made it a clip. Wow. Yeah, that was kind of sus. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little off. It was a little weird, and it was kind of more weird when he lost his thought too.
Well, I guess we could just go look at, I think Google Earth would be good. Let me switch screens really quick. And we can just go like this. Let's just start at the front of the house.
Okay.
So we've all seen the video, right?
We all know that front door really, intimately by now.
Yes, and then if we go around, let's just go around this direction. There's a garage here, and then there's this little storage room right here that we didn't know where this door went until this floor plan came out. There's a storage room.
Can you zoom in there? Can you zoom into that? Because we've all seen this blue door. To the right of the blue door, originally there were smashed floodlights that were hanging there. They were just dangling there until the police finally removed them. I think it was, second week or something. At the same time, they were removing the camera off that casita to the left bottom of the screen, that guest house. But that blue door there on the left, a lot of us thought it was a back door to maybe the kitchen or something or other. But your inner floor plan shows that corner there is actually not necessarily house. It's actually a little piece of the garage, right?
Yeah, let's get here's the garage.
Let's say we're driving from the bottom of the screen into the garage. Can you do that?
Yeah, if we were driving from the bottom of the screen, it would have came in like this. Okay, so this is the front of the garage. We're actually looking at it from behind the house.
You need to turn it. It's
and
the
that
wrong
camera
way.
that you were just referring to was right over here on the top of the
But people should
building.
know that this big, huge bottom square that says 56.4 on the bottom, that's not building, that's yard.
Yeah, that's right here, this place.
That big square there. Okay, that's helpful, because people are thinking that's an awfully big piece of the building.
Yeah.
But so that big empty square on the bottom is yard, and this little rectangle with a diagonal line through it is actually an outdoor patio. So if you go to the left of the patio and scooch over all the way to the left, you'll be getting towards that little blue door.
Yeah,
and
I
that
think the
little
blue door is right here, I think. In this, next to that room, just right next to, right in this little spot. I moved. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm moving around like a
there. Now I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
And what's sort of interesting about that is that we all thought that was just going inside the house, and it looks like it's actually going inside either the garage or a little bit of a tool room or garden room or storage room off the garage. And it's not necessarily going into the house proper, correct? That little blue door that everyone's looked at?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they used glass on it for a storage room, but it is what it is. So there's that. And so you saw that there was a storage room just in there. And then if we go back to the map, there's a garage. The garage is right there. So the storage room doesn't appear to go into the garage. I don't know if there's another door right there. We don't know that. We can't see into the garage very well. There is a shot that I have in the garage. This one.
Oh, that's
and
the
you
shot
can see that there is a garage, half of a garage door there. Now this looks newer than a door that we might see in a little bit, because these photographs that apparently we have inside the home seem to be pretty old, from a while ago.
And let's be really clear about the floor plan that you're looking at, and the photos we'll show people in a moment inside the home. Where did you get this floor plan, and roughly how old might it be, even though we can't really date it?
Well, somebody actually sent it to me. Then I went out to the same website. It was like a county website that had the floor plan, and I downloaded it. And so it was great, but I sure wish it had the interior walls, But so we're left to try to figure that out. And that door that we were just seeing is right here. And so that's going to
inside the garage.
Right,
Meaning
inside,
if you drive into the garage and then you got out of your car and kept walking forward, that would be, point to that again, put your cursor where that was again. You would be walking through the door to the interior of the house from the garage right there.
Right, and so when Nancy was dropped off that night and the garage door opened, she likely went through that door to go into the house.
So can you flip to and knowing now that you'd be walking through that door.
Which is crazy because remember they detected that the garage door opened at one point. So it almost sounds like to me that Nancy didn't even check her doors, because there's 4 to 5 doors from what I heard, as far as entry points being able to get inside of Nancy's house and out. So I think it sounds like she went in her garage door, probably just went straight to bed, probably went straight to the room and laid down, probably was very exhausted from a long night at Tommaso and Annie's house. And she decided to just go lay down. Like she was just over the night, I mean, that's highly, highly possible. And you heard the neighbors said that she leaves the door open. They leave the doors open or unlocked a majority of the time because they don't worry about anything in the neighborhood. It's one of those neighborhoods, I guess, that you don't have to really worry about crime because it's not normal that crime happens up in the foothills.
And that it's not that little blue door that we've all been looking at in the backyard. Mm-hmm. Flip to the inside. Or should we? Flip to the inside of the house so we can see what you're referring to by the way you get from the garage into the house and where it lands you.
So I think this is it right here. So I believe that this image right there. Now you see that there isn't glass on the lower portion of it,
right?
Because that door looks like one of the newer type of doors that you have with the blinds.
So remember, I said the kitchen is normally in the middle of the house normally, so. It's like usually like mid left, or I'm sorry, mid right if you're going in from the front. It's not usually directly in the middle, I guess, all the time, but it's in the middle, general middle area.
Inside the glass.
See if I'm right.
And so I think this is an area where you come into the house and then you turn to the right and it heads towards the back. Now, if you look way back there, you can literally see
the back.
Cement wall in the backyard there. So it is the correct, I really believe this is an image from inside the house. Yeah, the orientation is correct.
And also just note for a minute, if you will, again, it's a little bit disorienting because it's not what we all thought. If you were to walk through that door, and we're going to presume here, because Gray and I have not been in the house, so we're just going by the outside plans, where the windows all fall, and these interior photos, which could be very old. So you've walked in that door, and if it is the garage, you've walked straight along the length of the car and into the kitchen, and you turn to the right. And if you walk along those cabinets, you can see there's no windows there, so you're presumably walking along the nose of the car and then maybe the nose of another car. You're walking along the front of the garage there, which is why there's no light coming in that side. But that would, as Gray just said, land you at the back of the house as you get to those windows.
And you can see right there, it does go around. See it right there? It would go around the corner, and that does match the map, right? So see right there, it comes around. Yes. So it's looking pretty good. The window's kind of weird though, right?
The windows are tricky, and I will say that I think some of the windows may be a little bit overgrown, especially where the sink is. So if you go to the left, you can see over to the far left, that's where you would stand at the sink. You can see through the window, but it feels like it might be one of the windows that's very, very overgrown with some of the foliage on the outside of Nancy's house.
Yeah, so if we go take a look at that.
Look at all that greenery.
A large window there, and there might be a window behind there. Mm-hmm. I've looked for it. I can't see one, but it's also too thick to know for certain.
It's hard to tell. Okay, so just as you're looking at that picture, you can now see to the right of everything that Gray just showed you, that foliage, that window, there's a cover, there's an awning over this patio. And the patio is significant because we've now learned where the second significant door is to Nancy's house. And we do not know which door was used by the perpetrator to gain access. We just know what I reported from my source, and that is that her back doors, plural, were often left unlocked, according to Nancy's children telling the police. So, all right, Gray, let's walk under that awning best we can. And sort of these children. Doors, plural, were, we just know what I reported from my source, and that is that her back doors, plural, were often left unlocked, according to Nancy's children telling the police. So, all right, Gray, let's walk under that awning best we can and sort of place through.
So she just said that Nancy's children, according to her children, said that her back door was always unlocked. Did I just hear that correctly?
Different photograph. All right, Gray, let's walk unlocked, according to Nancy's children. Doors, plural, were often left unlocked. Which door was used by the back doors to gain access? We just know what I reported from my source, and that is that her back doors, plural, were often left unlocked, according to Nancy's children telling the police.
Not just her door. So she kept her back doors unlocked for however many back doors are in the back. That's crazy. And if that's the case, that would change things a lot. Well, it would actually keep us on the path that a lot of us are thinking on, which would be the fact that it's family related. I mean, they would know something like that, I would only assume, unless it's a secret and only Nancy's children know that, I guess. But it wouldn't be hard for, a family member from another family member to another to let them know, like, hey, yeah, she doesn't ever lock her back door, and they're just having a conversation, I don't know, but I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I think Nancy went inside through that garage, didn't even bother to check her doors to see if they were all locked. And if it's true that the family members say she leaves the back doors open, then why would she go check to see if they're locked? There's no need. But in the beginning, a lot of us discovered and learned that there was no force of entry. This story's so crazy. It's insane.
All right, Gray, let's walk under that awning best we can and sort of place through different photographs and some of the drone shots that we've been able to freeze from Fox and from News Nation, what the placement is of the walls and windows and the door under that awning.
I think this is the blue door underneath the awning right here. And
that'll be the second door now.
Yeah, and that's the second one, and the first one is the one that leads into the storage unit over there. But there, it's blue, and it's just right there, and I think that's a way to get into the house, and you're getting near Nancy's room at this point, too, when you enter that door.
Significant about this door, though, and Fox was very good at pointing this out, and that is that you can see that it's got a door handle, it's got a lock, it's a standard door. It is not special or, unique in any way. It is a standard door that has a door lock. You don't see it necessarily exactly there. You can see it on that picture there. You can see the handle, and again, it breaks my heart to think that this might have been one of the doors that he used to get through, given that.
So I think this is a patio door is what we're looking at right now. One of the patio doors.
It is a locking door. You can see just barely a little deadbolt. So this is a key picture here. This is the couch outside on the patio under the awning. And if you're sitting on this couch, you're facing the pool, the grass, and you can see the reflection of the grass in this outdoor window. But it is clearly a window, not a door. And it sort of spans the length of this outdoor sofa.
And we know exactly where that is. Where all the furniture is and the walls and stuff like that, that's hard. However, this is what it looked like at one point in there. Here is that window that we were just looking at. Notice
on the outside of that window, you'd be sitting on a sofa looking out into that greenery.
Just like that.
Right there. Yeah.
Right. And then we go back to here. Now, here's something that's interesting, just to add more proof to it. So here's the door over there. Now, again, these pictures might be 15, 20 years ago. I don't know. But look back here, this brick wall. See how the brick wall goes like that?
Right.
And then there's a corner right there, and then it turns. So if we go back up to Google Earth and flip around, right there, there is the wall, the corner, and then it turns.
Yeah.
So it's definitely the right space, and that's where that window is right there, and that door is right in here.
And that door, if you were to walk out the door, you would immediately see a brick wall on your left, and that's the brick wall of the, I believe, the bedrooms that start in the farther part of the home. See that brick wall through the window of the door right there? You open the door, and you got literally a brick wall on your left, which appears to be maybe the bedrooms.
Which is right there, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so that's door number 2, and we've assessed where those windows are. And to the left, Gray, to the left of that patio furniture, I was thinking, well, maybe there's another door that goes closer into where the kitchen is. And under that awning, many of the drone shots, very, very hard to see, but Mo Moran, who's one of the greatest photographers of all time, and I've worked with him many, many days, he was able to get his drone to look to the left under the awning, and it is just a straight up brick wall. There is no door. There is nothing. There's not even a window to the left of all that furniture. There's just some lovely plants. It's like a little plant corner, you know, but clearly not another window, not another door. So you can sort of X off that area to the left of the awning, under the awning, the left part under the awning. There is no additional door at that patio. There is only one door in that patio. Then we go to the right, Gray, and you can see that.
Yeah, but what about the sliding glass doors? There's sliding glass doors. Come on, lady. That's still a door.
Air conditioning, or at least the vent unit there, and I think there's that's a window there as well, right?
There's a window.
Yeah, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's an entry point as well.
Right here and right there. There's 2 windows there.
Which could be 1 or 2 small bedrooms.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It's weird. It's the way this is laid out is pretty interesting. I mean, it's it's hard to put when you look at there's only 3 pictures that I have of the interior, and so we don't know exactly, but we do know that Nancy's room is, I believe.
How many bedrooms do you think? How many guys in the chat? Let me know in the chat. How many bedrooms do you think that are at Nancy's house? Like, how many do you think are in Nancy's house? I want to say there's only 3, but the house is fairly big. It's like not the average size, but it is in the foothills. I would say 3, if not 4, but I don't think there's no more than 4 bedrooms in that house.
Her room is right here, and this is going to be a slider that goes out to the deck.
I think it says it on the book.
And then I think
we don't know. We assume based on some things you're going to show us. You know, basically, we've got a few ideas of what the interior looks like based on these photos that Gray has been showing you. Also, the Today Show segment that she did. What was it? 2012. I'm trying to remember the date. It was a long time ago.
2013 maybe.
Yeah,
Close.
and she did a Today Show segment on how to make your bed. And so they had a live camera in her bedroom when Savannah and her co-anchors, it was just sort of a fun segment on the best protocols for making a good bed. And it was really sweet. But that window, Gray, that you're basically front and center is an important window to look at based on the pictures that we saw.
It just says, I walked in on someone who ransacked the bedroom, and because I went around the other way, they were able to get out the back. If they had been about that life, they would have caught me by surprise. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of bothered because my chat is acting funny. But anyway, he says TMZ and wants to be famous. Maybe you're talking about Harvey.
On the Today Show segment.
Right. And I think the headboard is just right over here. So there is a space here that could be a bathroom, another bedroom. We don't know. Like these windows here go to a different room that's not Nancy's room. And there's a wall right there behind the headboard. All right. And so there's a slider we're assuming goes from her room. It seems to make sense that you have a slider to go out to a private patio.
And that the master bedroom would have the slider and not the kids' bedrooms. I mean, that's not usually what you want in your children's bedrooms, is a sliding door to, get out.
Exactly.
Most people don't realize how exposed.
That's crazy. Unlocked. Damn, I didn't realize this message. I'm so late on the chat. She was showing the inside of the house. I thought there were some other pictures that they were showing on the inside of the house, but I guess not. How interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and you can see that on the roof.
And look outside. Look at your outdoor. There's that fireplace chimney right there. And the patio awning you can see looks like part of a roof. That's just an awning. That's an indent. It's an awning. So you walk in that front door, you're either going left to the living room or straight ahead to that awning. And that back door is just to the left. I mean, you're almost, it looks like you'd be just a,
that's interesting too, because
10 or 15 steps.
Right.
You're in the front entrance right here.
It's weird because that means this one right here then would be, if you turn to the right, you're seeing that last shot, because this is like, you're coming in the arc and you're looking right down there. That means just to the right, you're looking down and there
Look at the chair on the right-hand corner of your screen, down below the big chair that you can see it full. Is that? Yeah. I mean, listen, who knows how things were furnished when these photos were taken, but it does seem that just to the left of the chair on the left is the door, and then you'd walk in and you'd be looking right down at that fireplace and those windows.
Exactly. So we could.
And that bookshelf is the bookshelf is possibly the side wall on the other side of Nancy's bed that's out of the camera shot. That could be the master bedroom, where that would be the again the wall to the right of the bed as you're looking from the Today Show camera angle.
Yeah, it's interesting because that means like Nancy's room is in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And then the wall.
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems like it makes the most sense. Like you were saying earlier, it leads out to a patio, and that's what would be in the master bedroom.
See if you can go back to the shot of the interior of the home where you can see the back window and the fireplace in the back. Because I wonder.
Let's see.
I wonder how you would get to the other bedrooms in the back. I assume you go to the left there and past that door.
Yeah, there looks like there's definitely a turn that you can make.
Yeah.
To go over
and
there.
And then you
maybe
get into the other kids' bedrooms.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of over where that area would be. And Nancy's room's over there, too. So there might be a little hallway, a small little narrow hallway that goes to two different doors, maybe.
Of what went down that night.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. It's a little tricky. I can't imagine any other bedrooms on the right-hand side of this floor plan, like near the kitchen and the garage. I feel like all bedrooms may be over on the left-hand side of the house. But if that's the case, maybe I can't remember the ages that Annie and Savannah were. Maybe they shared a bedroom.
I mean, I think it has to be, like, this is garage, right? So you can almost wipe this whole area off in terms of bedroom.
And storage, right?
Yeah, and
garage and storage unit.
This is
storage
the kitchen
room.
and dining room.
If Nancy was taken in a wheelchair, in a barrel, like a garage barrel, wheelbarrow, I don't know, walker, if perhaps she was taken like that, they wouldn't need a vehicle. But I think that would be dumb, because I feel like the perp would have been more worried about someone seeing that, such a high crime. So I don't think that would fit the theory that she was not driven, but rolled in something like a wheelchair or a wheelbarrow or something like that. It is highly possible that she could have got taken to an abandoned home, but I don't think so. I don't know if anybody would have been willing to take that risk, because the perp has made no mistakes, and that would have been one big mistake. Because I'm pretty sure someone would have saw a suspicious vehicle at an abandoned home. I don't know the view because the abandoned home that I visited earlier, there's a neighbor directly across the street, and they can definitely see the home from their home. So I don't think... Maybe, but maybe not, because there's several other abandoned homes. But I don't know. I'm just not. That's not fitting the theory for me.
Room is right in here, right?
And kitchen and breakfast nook.
And then we just saw that that larger, well, it's weird too. When you
You're
see that
right at the
larger
awning.
shot,
The awning is right. Yeah, it's very tricky, right? Because that awning
that's crazy.
That big window is right there.
Yeah, you know what's weird is when you look back at the kitchen shot, this one, I think that's right next to this shot, right? Let's see. This one. I think literally if you just slid about 2 feet down to the left, because you're right at the arch, right? And you're looking straight ahead at those windows underneath the awning that you were talking about. So it
Kitchen's
has to
directly
be,
to the right.
Let's see if I can find the other one.
Well, Greg, go to the roof. Actually, the roof shot will help us because that fireplace is right there, and then you'd be in the kitchen, and maybe the garage isn't both of those windows. It's hard to imagine that fireplace kitchen could be awfully skinny.
I know. That's exactly the thought I was just having. That's why I was like, it is the house, because you can see the layout. Everything in those images is correct. Yeah. It's just trying to figure out, like, when you're looking at the top of this, what is this little part right there that indents in? So does it mean that the door maybe is right there? And, maybe, it's hard to say. When I say door, I mean the one that goes to the garage could be.
You kind of have to get the depth of the garage, I guess, and see how deep the car goes, right? Like there may not be a lot of space between the front and back wall of the garage.
Maybe we should look at this again. Oh, there it is. There's that little nook.
There's that little indent.
Interesting.
And it's hard because that patio seems to be right there with that fireplace.
And so then
that back patio.
So let's see if we can try to make sense of this, because there's this little opening here.
It's just funny,
and that would be where the
because
kitchen.
I was just saying this yesterday that it wouldn't be hard to figure out where a lot of these rooms are at, and then all of a sudden here comes Ashley Banfield with a whole video with photos of her home and a whole pretty much blueprint of Nancy's home. That's just crazy to me, man. It's crazy. I don't know what my computer's acting really weird. Machiavelli says, I believe there are multiple suspects. I agree 100%. I don't think I honestly think that they were so occupied in the house that the guy with the strub on the surveillance video
is supposed
he can be comfortable, there's really not much going on inside the house that he has to worry about, because while he's doing that, they're already inside doing their thing. I think somebody was already in there at the time of the perp was at the door trying to dismantle the camera or cover up the camera with that piece of strub. Who knows what he was doing exactly. But that's my take on it.
In minutes, a professional in seconds.
So I think Nancy took to her channel today. Well, she's on a different level. How easy it is to pick a lock. So if they were to pick the locks, because there was something like pointed out on JLR stream the other day with Watching the World, I think his name is. He was pointing out something on the hip of the suspect as he makes a certain turn. He sees something there. I don't know if I could pull that up, actually. Let me see. Let me check that out real quick. And maybe I could zoom in on that moment in time if I'm able to pause it in time. I'll give it a shot. So y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. What's going on my screen? There it goes. I'm going to try to fast forward it to that part of the video there. Oh, never mind. It's not even letting me. Forget it. I don't know. What? I don't know why it's not letting me. Skip the video to a certain point. Maybe because it's a short? I don't know. Usually with the shorts, I'm able to do that, though. But I'll see if I can stop it at that moment. So you'll see it. It's on the right side. The perps left are right. God, why is this sign up there? Thank you. I think he's talking about right there. I don't think I'll be able to get that particular. Oh, God. And I don't even want to wait for this thing to restart. They pay attention? Oh, I just saw it too. God dang. Bro, what is this? It's almost like it's a pocket knife or something like that on his side. When he makes that turn, you can actually see it. I don't know. I need to find a different video. That's what I was trying to look for. Anyway, forget it. Just forget it. I'll show it another night. Because we're running out of time here anyway. And it's not that important to show y'all something on the perp. But real quick, I just wanted to show this video just real quick. I think I wanted to watch most of Nancy Grace, but I'm running out of time because I got to work in the morning. But we got plenty of time tomorrow and all the rest of this week. Plenty of time. So anyway,
deadbolt and the bottom key and knob is what we train our locksmiths. That's the first locks they play with. They learn how to pick that. Within the hour, they're picking those locks. It's not a high security lock at all.
Terry Wynn Yates, you're telling me, and by the way, this is video from Mr. Locksmith on YouTube. We're showing you how it's done. But could you explain it, Mr. Wynn Yates?
To pick the lock, first of all, it has to be a lock that's not high security. So if it's a regular house lock, business lock, etc., you apply turning pressure. And then there's a couple of different methods of picking. One is raking. You sort of rake the pick in and out as you apply tension. The other method is what we call SPP, or single pin picking. And that's when you become more advanced and you can pick the lock one pin at a time. And there's 5 pins in the lock that you showed me the picture. There's 5 pins, and it's a pretty simple lock to pick.
Let's see Mrs. Guthrie's lock again, please, control room.
Could the perp have maybe picked the lock? I mean, he simplified it like that, like if it would be that easy. That's dude asking for TMZ and wanting to be famous. I don't know what you're referring to. I'm lost in the sauce.
So, Terry Wynn Yates, you're telling me that even an amateur could break into this with a lockpick?
Yeah, they don't have to break anything. There's several methods to open that lock. It's extremely easy to pick open. Extremely easy. And that's what we start our beginners with. And within the hour, they're picking that lock.
I'm glad Nancy Grace did this. So he's saying that it's extremely easy to pick a lock. I mean, and just looking at the video, it looks like it's really easy. So, I mean, it is possible that he picked that lock and he didn't want nobody to know that's what he was going to do once he decided to cover that camera up or dismantle it with the strub. He definitely very much so could have been his next move, being that, there's a possibility that he was by himself. That was probably his next move. You know, because I also still feel like the perp could be alone as well. But I'm sticking to my theory. I think there's more than one person, but I'm not putting that past the perp. I think that there definitely could be, it could definitely turn out that it's just one person. I would not be surprised either way.
And the bottom lock has...
So all this business about this door being impenetrable is all BS, technical legal term, right?
Totally.
Oh. Terry Wynn Yates, what about a lockpick gun?
Yeah, it's basically just a spring with a little pick, like a straight pick on it, spring steel. And it's like bumping the lock. Yeah. And when you put it in there, a couple clicks and apply tension, put in the pick gun. They're readily available all over the internet. And you can pick the lock in seconds. It's just, and the other method, the pick gun's similar to what we call a bump key.
So you told me earlier that a lockpick gun is kind of old school. It's not being used much anymore.
Well, there's better methods, but it's very simple to teach people that. One reason you don't like it in certain methods is covert, is it makes some noise. It goes bang, 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 click, click, click. So it can make some noise. If you want to be quiet, use a regular lock pick or some of the more advanced methods to pick the lock.
So I wanted to see I was looking to see how long it would take to pick a lock. However,
American homeowners, the FBI
tells us that removing Mrs. Guthrie from the house, evading all sorts of Mrs. However, right, logic tells us that removing Mrs. Guthrie from the house.
Those are the lights that I'm talking about, guys. So remember, we've been talking about this. How are they talking about all these things that I've been talking about lately? It's kind of crazy. Everybody's talking about the things that I've been bringing up lately. But those are the lights. That's a very, very terrible picture, by the way. I don't know why that Nancy has this terrible picture. She definitely should have better pictures than I do. That's for sure. I almost want to give you all a better picture because that's terrible.
Evading all sorts of detection throughout this process leads us to think there has to be more than one person involved, and that they would require a vehicle to move her away from her residence. 100%.
Hey, hold on, Fitz. Look. Watch it again. He looks back directly at those headlights. See, did you see that? Wait, let's play that again in its entirety of this particular. See him look back?
Me think the guy
I did
in
not
the
notice
car,
that the first time.
857 videos, the force.
What about that, Fitz?
Hey, that's crazy.
There's been a number of really good breakdowns done in the online sleuth community, seeing this, what appears to be some communication from the perp on the porch back in the direction.
I'm telling y'all, dude, those are lights. That's not the sign. I'm telling you, a lot of people are overthinking this, and it's really simple. More simpler than what it is, just because everything's that's gone on. It's very difficult not to overthink a lot. But I feel like this case is like meant for that at this point, to just take everybody on a goose trail, like just where it feels like there's no ending. It's very tough to crack this case. It's going to be very tough to crack this case, and there are it's 51 days, 52 days in. They're having a hard time. Which I can have all the theories in the world, but at the end of the day, I still feel like they're not going to find this guy. They're not going to find the perp. I don't know why I feel that way. I just don't feel like we have anything. I don't feel like we have any leads. I don't feel like we have nothing that's going to lead us to the suspect. And like I said before, we still got to put this guy there. Even if we find a guy and he's a potential suspect, we still have to be able to put that guy there. And by the way, what's taking so long? Where's the genealogy? Like, can we get an update on the genealogy test? Like, what's going on?
Of what appears to be headlights going off. So that is certainly, an interesting point there.
Right there. Okay.
Brian,
go back.
Other theories have emerged.
Sleuth community seeing.
What's your thought?
I share that with a $1.2 million Mrs. Guthrie.
Brian Fitzgibbons, you were listening as Jeff Lemie was describing that school kid cut through that was used. I find that very, very interesting.
Yeah, so this data and conspiracy. I think it's more
right here,
more like nation or going to law enforcement.
So I was talking about this today, but remember my camera wasn't very clear. My signal was great where I was at, but once I drove away, there's a certain spot you cannot drive a certain direction on Nancy's Road, otherwise you will lose service. JLR was talking about this all the time, but I want to zoom in real quick because I want to show you guys again what I was talking about, that I think that our lights, there's something that is reflecting over there on that far right side. That could be a sign. But again, today I was talking about the way Nancy's house is facing. And looking at how her house is facing, it's kind of faced, at an angle. It's not faced directly toward the street. And I almost want to go to Nancy's door, but I can't. I don't want to be I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to be rude. I want to respect the house and the Guthrie family's wishes. I'm sure they don't want me at their door investigating because I'm not an investigator, and it's probably not going to help the case much either. But just analyzing the home, looking at everything, seeing where the door is facing. There's certain things I'll have to show you guys, live on the scene, because the way that door faces, it's facing like I'm telling you, it's facing right. So if you're facing the street, standing in front of Nancy's door, the door, I'm sorry, if you're in the front of the door, you're staring at the road. You would be staring at the road. So this is you straight, just looking straight at the street from the door. But really, in reality, you would be facing the street like this. Now, there's a sign outside of Nancy's home, okay? And I'm going to make a point here. I'm going to try to make the point without actually being there, because I'm seeing something right now that I'm really liking right now. And I think it's going to lead in a good direction as far as proving my theory may be more correct than a lot of others. But I could be wrong. So don't quote me on it. But look at the way the house is facing right here. See what I'm saying? We got to bring the arrow back out. The arrow is going to help us a lot. This time I need 2 arrows, though. Okay. It's time we speculate. And I'm going to line this arrow up with the home. I'm going to literally line it up with the right side of the home as best as I can, alongside our other arrow. Hold on, because I'm trying to make sure these arrows are together. But alongside my other arrow, you see, I'm going to line the arrow up as best as I can for both of them. So I'm going to take this other arrow here. This one's going to kind of be facing kind of the other way. Just a bit, but it's still going the way I want it to go, or not really, maybe not. Yeah, see that part of the house is making the arrow off. So let's use this part of the house right there. Anyway, no, forget that arrow. So you see the arrow on the left. The arrow on the left is showing the direction that our house faces toward the street. You see the street is right there. This is Nancy's front door in this area. At the tip of the arrow is where her door is at, okay? And her house, again, is facing this way. Not straight. Not literally straight like this. It's facing literally this way. I want to say where the arrow is at. Let's use the end of the arrow for instance. Right about in there would be the cutoff point for you to see left. Let's go over a little bit more. Right about here would be the cutoff point for you to see what's on the left. And remember, there's a wall in front of Nancy's door. So you cannot see that house that's on the left. There's a house that's on the left side. Hope y'all following me here. Not only that, there is, okay, so you see the sign right there? There's a sign there. That's the sign everyone's talking about, that they believe that the perp that's behind the perp in that surveillance video. But you notice, if you look at my left arrow right over here, there's no house there. And again, there's a wall right in here that separates, you know, it's in the way of the camera. So the camera's not going to see any of this over here. But in the surveillance video, we see lights in the background. Okay? And there's the lights right there. But if you go back, there's no house there for those lights that you're seeing. And it for damn certain, like I said, that wall cuts you off. You can't see this house over here. There's a house in the corner right over there on that arrow. You can't see that. You can't see that. The only other house is the house way over here on the right side. So what lights are we seeing that are here? If you look, just looking at it closer, closely, you can see two lights. Two tail lights, and at the bottom there is like a license plate light. It's exactly how it would look. And if you were to see two lights, two tail lights and a license plate blurry. To me, it clearly looks like that's a vehicle. But everyone's saying that's the sign. And I'm going to go back one more time, a couple more times maybe, because I want to look one more time. Now, I'm going to go back again because I want to make another point here. So let me see if I can zoom in here on a little bit more. I don't know if I can because I already have this thing big enough. That sign, I don't know. I can't recall what the shape is called. I see lights and car seats and a hubcap. That, I don't know if we could define all that in this blurry photo. It's pixelated as well. The sign. Okay, I wanted to make a point about the sign. That sign. If you look at this picture right here, it looks like it's an upside down triangle. Like an upside down triangle. If the entire sign were to be being hit with some type of light and it's reflecting off a light, by the way, what light is over there? There's no lights across the street. So what light would be reflecting off of that sign? Would it be the night vision on the camera? I mean, because it's pitch black at night. A sign doesn't reflect with reflectors on it unless light hit it. So it doesn't make any logical sense to me that sign would just be lighting up And it could be just because maybe the top of the sign is cut off to a certain point, and that's just actually a sign, and I'm only seeing half of the sign because of how the picture is. But I would argue that that's a car. I don't think that that's a sign. But it almost does look like the top part of the sign isn't lighting up if that's the sign. If you follow the mailbox, which I think is the mailbox. Is it the mailbox here? No, it's not the mailbox. What is that in front? If you follow that, I want to follow that maybe and see if that leads us anywhere. Looking at the picture though, not this one. Just to see if I can get an idea. No, because we can't see it from this angle. But her door is pretty much facing that sign exactly. But again, there's a wall in between here and the front door, and it really separates you. It's really, there's no way that Ring camera is seeing around the wall to get this house way over here on this end. Now, there may be some houses in the back, further back. That's highly possible. You know, I think I did have a picture of that vacant property, now that I'm thinking about it. I want to see if I can... I want to see what's left of this picture, because I don't know. I don't think this picture goes beyond that point where we're able to see any other houses back there. Oh, it does. Yeah, so it does. And I just wanted to move my arrows because they're kind of in the way, but it does. But, and again, Nancy's house is kind of on a hill. This house where my arrow, exactly where my arrow is at, that's a hill. That's a hill with another house. And it's possible that we're seeing the lights on that house and then the sign. So I think that might be a possibility. I mean, maybe so. Maybe we're seeing this house back here. I mean, it has to be. This house here and then the sign. I think that's what everyone says that they're seeing. So it's not a car there. It's this sign, that house. I don't know if I'm buying that. But it lines up well. I mean, that's highly possible too. I really wish I could zoom in on that. But in an enhanced way. You know, it's just not... Let's see, I think I could zoom in some more. Because it's really not... yeah, maybe that is a sign. Maybe it is a sign and maybe I'm overthinking it. Yeah, maybe that is the sign. It's starting to look more like the sign as I zoomed in. So maybe I'm over. I really had to get down to the bottom of that because I really was thinking that was a car. And I don't know if you guys remember, but we were talking about the Kia. And to me, that looked like the back of the Kia. Because I know how a Kia looks. Or the back of a CVS. Because, you know, with the Kia... There is the lights, the tail lights come down from the top of the car. They don't come down from mid car, you know. So I thought that these lights in the Kia that we saw, or, you know, when we were talking about the Kia, looked very, very close to the lights that we see in the background where the perp is at. But I think it's safe to say at this point, because it's been so long and they're having such a difficult time finding the perp, that he was smart enough not to pull up in front of the house. I'm really not going to be surprised at all if this isn't our guy at all that we're looking at in this surveillance video. I'm really not. But I just really thought that it was a really interesting. I've been sharing this a lot. I've been talking about it a lot, that this vehicle matches that vehicle that, you know, that might be a vehicle in the background. I'm just going to move forward on this and assume that that's the sign at this point. I think I've convinced myself that that's the sign and not the car, or not a car. So I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let that theory go. I think I met my mark as far as figuring it out. So we'll leave it at that from here on out then, you know. Thank God I am poor and unpopular. Why you say that? Who said that in the chat, by the way? I was trying to see who said that. I don't think I've seen this person in the chat. Big welcomes, by the way. Is it artist or artist? I don't know if I pronounced that right. Magazine, big welcomes. He says that is a sign. What did he say here? We said, I say it's a hubcap under a van and truck, not the bottom lip part of a diamond-shaped sign. Nah, those house windows are more space. These look like car and bus windows. You see what I'm saying, though? It's very difficult to look past this and think that it's just a sign. But at the same time, I mean, it might just be that sign. The house at the end of the street is the first arrow is be that light to the far right is what he looks back at. There is another light. I don't know if you're talking about the light over here. It's like a little tiny light though. So I don't know if that's the light you're talking about, but yeah. The FBI video on their channel is clear. Maybe I should do that. I just like the short because the short loops and I don't have to keep starting it over again. On a lot of like websites, you don't have many options, and I don't think you have the loop option, but I'd be more than glad to get a clear footage and a better view than what we're looking at right now, for sure. We could do that before I get off tonight, dang, for sure. Good idea. Let's check that out, actually. Let's do that. Let's do that real quick. You said the FBI, though.
I think it's more like...
I don't know what that would be under besides FBI. I'll take a look. Let's just take a look real quick. Give me 2 seconds, though. I want to see if I can pull this up. You laughing at me right now? I couldn't really read your name because I'm looking at something else right now. Let me see if I can read it here. I'm bad with names, by the way. Well, because poor people do not get kidnapped, I guess. I wouldn't say that. There were some people that went to Mexico, and I don't know if y'all remember, but I think there were 4 people at one point in time that went to Mexico, and they were kidnapped. Only 2 made it back. I don't remember what story that was or what had happened, whatever, but yeah. I don't think they had a lot of money, though. One second, Chad. I want to see if I can pull this up real quick to see if we could get a clear video. We could watch this video all night long. I could literally let this video loop for the rest of the night, sleep, come back, talk about it, do it all over again. I mean, it's crazy. All right, let me see if I can find this, whatever y'all talking about on the FBI or whatever. I don't know. Let's see. Was it CBS? I mean, I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to find the actual footage from FBI. Maybe on CBS? Maybe I should start enhancing some of my videos. I'm pretty sure I could do that on Adobe Pro. FBI Nancy Guthrie, that's not coming up. There's going to be a whole bunch of like news feeds. Here, I'll let y'all follow me. I'll let y'all direct traffic right here. Two seconds. The drugged up comes with a little pin to remove the Ring camera. Being that it's 2026, we're all aware that the majority of people, especially in this town, I don't know about any other towns, all have Ring cameras. I just said it earlier. I actually, when I went live earlier, I was doing Instacart and never mind that. But anyway, yeah, the majority of people who have doorbell cameras now, and we are all fully aware of that. And I just want to say, doing Instacart, I take notice of that all the time. I see it more so than none. Majority of the time, someone has a Ring camera than they don't. It's almost weird now to see somebody without a Ring camera. That's how crazy things change, or that's how much things have changed over the years. Here, I'm gonna let y'all follow me on this one because I don't know where y'all want to go with as far as finding a clearer video, but I don't see anything that I would suggest that would be like related to FBI. I don't know if the FBI released it on their page. I would only assume that they released it to someone else, to one of us or a news station. So y'all let me know. Somebody says I put perp in front of. Somebody says to put something else though. What did he say? I'll put that down too. FBI loops. It's FBI YouTube channel. Oh, FBI YouTube channel. No way. So FBI loops would be the name. Maybe just put Nancy Guthrie. Oh, so there's a Federal Bureau of Investigation. Oh, okay. This is probably it right here. I don't think this is going to be clear, though. It doesn't look any clear. It's an actual video. You are right. I don't understand the pulling out the weeds. Yeah, and this guy's just chilling. So that leads me to believe that whoever's in the house, if there's someone else in the house, which is what I believe, they're just chilling. They're just chilling. Or I'm sorry, he's just chilling. They got it under control inside. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like that's what's going on. Because he's just way too comfortable. And I think at that point in time where they were saying it kind of looks like he's going to put his hand on the door, he's going to open the door. At that moment in time, I honestly think he wasn't trying to do that. But even if he was, I think if he was going to do that, I think he was just going to check to see if the door was open. But like somebody was saying, it could be the people amongst Tommaso's, band members, because whoever this is obviously knew the back door was open. And if they didn't, we're overthinking this, and he just went to the back and he tried the back door. It could be possible that he tried the back door. Maybe most people in general, for all we know, leave their back doors open, guys. Remember the other video we saw, and it was a completely different suspect. Although we're not sure that it has anything to do with this, because we could be looking at the wrong guy or another guy that's, with that guy that we saw in the other video that we thought might have relations to this one, because there was another video we saw with another guy that had a backpack on, but this time he had two. Remember that? He had two backpacks. Well, this guy and the backpacks were full as well, it looked like, but this guy was going to hop the wall and go through the back. So as a perp and somebody that does it all the time, they're going to know a lot more than we don't know. And I think that there's a possibility that people may just leave their back doors unlocked a majority of the time and not the front all the time. I think that could be possible. Why'd you say search on YouTube? Yeah, I'm on YouTube. This one says FBI. This is a federal bureau one. See, with the short I could zoom in. With this one I can't zoom in because it's an actual video. It's the only reason why I like the shorts as well. But this one's great because I can stop at a certain part that I want to see, that I was going to show you guys earlier as well. So I want to go back right there. We're going to slow it down, actually. No, we don't need to do that. I'll just click it through. Oh, man. Why isn't it? Okay, we're going to brighten this up, guys, because I want you guys to see this, but maybe this is bright enough. So, Watching the World, I think his name was, he pointed this out yesterday, so I just wanted to show y'all. What do y'all think this is? And it looked like it was like right on the belt area, right as he makes that turn. See that right there? Did you see that? Could it just be some chrome on a belt? Because usually the chrome on the belt is at the front. Could it be a pick for the lock? What is that? I can't call it, chat. I can't call it. I don't know what that is. Zipper? It's on his waist. What do you mean zipper? Zipper to the... Can't be the zipper to the jacket, because the zipper to the jacket is right here. Right on that waistline. I'm not too sure what that is. That's not a... I don't think that's a zipper. Ooh, it kind of looks like it might be a zipper, though. It's possible. A belt? But remember, the belt area where it buckles is going to be where that gun is at. There's usually not... A belt is usually leather. And that's to the left of the waist. Not all the way to the left, but pretty far left waist. I mean, it's far from center. It's in between, you know, the right waist and the front of his, you know, where that gun is at. They're making the hot pocket? Yo. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting when he had brought that to JLR's attention yesterday. for watching the world. I thought that was crazy. But I don't know if what that's gonna do would help us. I just wanted to get you guys' take on it to see what y'all thought that might have been. It's kind of crazy. Is it I'm trying to figure out how you say your name because everything's so close together. Is it Arist? Maybe I should say Arist for short. It seems like the kidnapper did the bare minimum, like he knew he had nothing to worry about, like he had all the time in the world, like he knew he would be caught. Lazy, shady. It's crazy. Yeah, I agree. I think this guy was just chilling. He was chilling. He knew whoever else was there with him inside of the home had everything under control, which I think was two other guys that were in there for sure. And they knew for sure, it's an 84-year-old lady, man. Come on now. An 84-year-old lady, that's not that difficult to restrain an 84-year-old lady. I'm going to keep saying it. It's not that difficult. It's really not. You know what they say when you get older, you age backwards. You become a baby again. I deal with elderly every single day. I do physical therapy. I'm in a long-term and short-term healthcare facility. I'm dealing with people from 60 to 80 on average, 60 to 100 on average. But most of them are 70 and up for a majority of the patients that we have. Can we loop this? How do I loop this? That's all right, because we're going to get off right here anyways. But anyways, I want to loop it, though. I want to learn how to loop it. I don't think there's any way to loop. But it is on auto, so we'll make sure it doesn't automatically go to the next video. But it would be nice to loop that. But I don't think there's any way I can loop an actual video, I guess. Animation. I don't know what animation is. But this is a lot clearer video. I'm not going to lie. It is a lot clearer than the one we were watching. So shout out to whoever's idea it was to go and see the actual video where the video really came from. The gang that did this probably found this creep on Craigslist. Man. Yeah, I don't think I can loop this. There's nothing in here to loop it, so. Oh, well, I guess I'll have to play it a couple times here. I haven't heard from from Chase since he said he was gonna unsubscribe, man. I'm kind of hurt, man. Can't believe he really didn't come back, bro. It's all right. You win some, you lose some. I can't even see my chat because I'm so zoomed in. I could watch that video all day long, chat. All day long. Just to see what we missed. Because it's always a likelihood that you missed something. See, as a preteen would already thought to bring spray paint or could pry that cam off. This guy acts like a child. handicapped, drugged, not like a pro at all. Yeah, I mean, but you have to understand, he did some of this stuff on purpose. Like on the initial first walk up, when he walks up with his head down, this isn't even the whole video. Where is this even the whole video the FBI sent or posted on their thing? No, this is not it. Because when he walks up, he immediately puts his head down. This is the beginning of it, but it's missing like 3 seconds of the beginning. But on the initial approach, you see he walks up with his head down. And I also feel like he's altering the walk to throw investigators off. This is what makes me think he's smart, because I feel like he's doing stuff to throw us off. And I think he's keeping in mind that these are certain things that he's aware. I think he made it clear that he's aware that investigators look for stuff like that. That's, like the way you walk, to see if you have a limp, see if, there's anything distinctive about your character. Because obviously they need to be able to match this guy up with whomever it is out there. Like I said, they got to put the perp there. We don't have anything that says this guy was there. That genealogy comes back, okay, he was there, but you still got to prove he was there on that specific night. And to make it all better, if January 11th and the January 31st is very important, they may need that to lock something in as well. I don't know what the big old deal is about those 2 days, but they may have got something that we don't know about, and they may have saw someone in the neighborhood based on collecting certain footage from certain neighbors. They may have seen something suspicious on those days with someone they saw without the mask. Remember, Brian Enton sat down with one of the neighbors, and the neighbor was saying that she saw a suspicious guy with a hat on, and maybe they saw something like that, and they're just trying to put things together at this point. But personally, for me, I really feel like they don't have anything at all. Someone said that there's 2 videos on the FBI page for that perp out in front of Nancy's. See if we could quickly find that other video. Yeah, there is 2 videos. This is the one where he's kind of messing with the strub, but it's not showing that first initial walk up. How is it so that we got a video from the FBI? This is the footage that they first discovered, recovered, and put out for us. And yet we don't have the whole entire thing. Confused. There must be some type of other website for the FBI or something like that, or YouTube page. Cause that's not it. Come on, bro. No, yeah. It's not showing that part. Not that it matters. We don't even really need to see it anyways. It doesn't even matter. But I would like to have the entire video. I really got to download that. I should really download that video. Yeah, this is the other video that they have. Yeah, this is not. No. Oh, God. Yeah. Not what I was looking for, chat. Not what I was looking for at all. This is not it. This ain't the one. I like in the video, you get, when the video, I like the fact that in the video you really get a real good look at this guy. I could look at this one 1,000 times. But in this particular video, or in certain parts of the video, you really get a real good look at the perp. it just seems like it's somebody that we'll be surprised of, kind of like Scooby-Doo when they, when they pull the mask off and it's like, oh, officer, it almost feels like it's that type of thing. But right there, you get a really good look at the perp on those lightings. And I think those are the type of things that investigators are really, really watching over and over again and just trying to figure it out. If they haven't made it past that point already. Official video is 2 separate videos. I thought these were the 2 separate videos. This is the second one. We watched the other one. So, I mean, these got to be it. I don't see any other videos under the FBI Federal Bureau or Bureau thing. Whatever it's called. Wow, what a good look that you get at him. I could look at that 1,000 times and just try to really, really try to figure it out. I mean, that's a really good look. When I first initially saw this video, it was like, I'm not going to lie, it was like seeing the boogeyman. It's scary. It's a scary thought. Just looking at this guy with certain, just because of his demeanor, it makes him like super, super like scary, man. You almost get the goosebumps when you see somebody like this. And just the thought of Nancy having to see this if she was awake when these guys walked in is like, whoa. I can't imagine if there's another guy, how they looked, how they acted, what they did before they went in. I feel like a lot of people do drugs before they commit crimes. Whew, I don't even want to know how they handle it. I really don't. The one continuously video came Patel's ex account. Huh. I'm not too sure who that is. Anyways, guys, I want to shout y'all out for stopping by and tuning in tonight. I really got to get off right now, only because I got to work in like 3 hours. Here we go again. I'm off to another night where I'm getting no sleep going in tomorrow for work. Hey, it's all worth it though, man. We're doing it for Nancy. It's all worth it. I can't complain, right? I mean, I love streaming. I love doing this, so it's all worth it. Big shouts to those of y'all stopping by tonight. It's your boy YouTube Juice. We'll talk more tomorrow, guys. I got to get going. Thanks so much for stopping by tonight. Tune in with me tomorrow. Don't forget about me. One love, y'all. Big salutes. I'm gone.